Imagine you're leading a workshop for a dozen new mentors who are about to begin guiding their first protégés. The energy in the room is palpable. Everyone's excited to make a difference, but also a little unsure where to start. You clear your throat and address them. Being a mentor isn't about having all the answers, you say. It's about asking the right questions. You notice a few nods around the room, so you continue. Think of yourself as a guide on the side rather than a sage on the stage. Your role is to ask questions that spark insight, reflection, and ultimately growth. You pause, then project a slide showing 8 questions. These questions, you explain, are a mentor's best tools. Let's walk through each one. 1. What does success look like to you? You begin by telling a story about a junior consultant you once mentored. She had big dreams, but no clear definition of success. When I asked her this question, she paused and then mapped out what she really wanted in her career. You emphasize that this question can be applied to big goals or specific situations. The answer will reveal priorities and aspirations, you say, and it sets the stage for more targeted conversations about achievement. 2. What is the outcome you want? Next, you share an anecdote about a team conflict you witnessed. 2 talented team members clashed constantly, you explain. One wanted resolution, the other just wanted out. They both had different outcomes in mind, so each needed a different approach. By inviting protégés to clarify their desired outcomes, you help them see that once they know what they really want, the next steps become clearer. 3. What do you want to be different in 3 to 5 years? You flip to another slide and pose this question to the group. We often think too far ahead or not far enough, you say. The 3 to 5 year window is the sweet spot. It's long enough to dream, yet not so distant that the goals feel unattainable. You encourage your mentors in training to guide their protégés in imagining changes they'd like to see, whether it's a new skill set, a different work environment, or moving into leadership. When protégés can picture their future, it's easier to identify the steps they need to take now. 4. What are the obstacles you're facing? Sometimes, you say, protégés hesitate to share their challenges, believing they reflect poorly on them, but mentors need the truth to help. You recount a situation where a protégé struggled to speak up about a lack of confidence. Once the obstacles were named, you could address them directly, suggesting resources and encouragement. Asking this question, you note, opens the door for honest conversations about strengths, weaknesses, and potential solutions. What can you control? You bring up a story about corporate policies that a mentee found unfair. She felt stuck and powerless. By asking, what can you control, we shifted her attention to concrete actions she could take, you explain. Perhaps she could document instances of the policy's impact or propose changes to HR. Focusing on what's within reach empowers people to find practical, immediate steps forward. 6. What are the options you've come up with? You look around the room. A good mentor doesn't simply hand out solutions. You want your protégé to think creatively first. You describe how you often ask your own mentees for at least 2 or 3 potential strategies before offering feedback. This approach, you explain, helps them build confidence and ownership. Then you can guide them in exploring each option's pros and cons. 7. Tell me more, though not a direct question. This prompt often yields transformative insights. We've all heard the phrase, there are 3 sides to every story. Yours, mine, and the truth, you remind the group. Saying, tell me more invites people to open up about their thought process, reveal hidden biases, or discover blind spots they didn't know they had. You talk about how an important part of being a mentor is listening without judgment. This gives your protégé space to dig deeper and evaluate their own assumptions. 8. What are you reading? Finally, you shift to a more personal question. I like to ask about books, blogs, or even hobbies, you say. It helps me see who my protégé is as a whole person. By understanding their interests, you can recommend relevant reading material, conferences, or training opportunities and build a more authentic, trusting relationship. Knowing someone beyond their work persona, you add, allows you to tailor your guidance to who they truly are. You take a moment to let the lesson settle. In mentoring, you say softly, "Our mission is to help others find their own answers, and that starts by asking the right questions." The group members scribble notes enthusiastically, exchanging ideas on how they'll incorporate these questions into their upcoming sessions. You wrap up with one final piece of advice. Stay curious, you urge. Because when you do, your protégés will learn to do the same. And that's when genuine growth and transformation happen.